webinar today. My apologies for the delay, just some teething errors. We have moved on to a new system. We are now on MS Teams instead of our usual platform. Today is going to be a lovely one. We do have a Doctor of Engineering Toolbox topic for you, proudly presented to you by EIT with Dr. Professor Kalam. No problem at all. So at the end of this webinar, everyone is going to get a copy of the slides as well as the video recording. They will be sent to the email addresses that you guys use to register for this particular webinar. And the topic for today is improving quality and impact research. And the presenter is Professor Akhtar Kalam. So a little bit more about EIT. My apologies, Prof. Or I'll leave the session for later so that we can quickly commence with our webinar, and then I'll do the presentations thereafter. Okay, Prof, I think you are most welcome to start with the presentation since we are a bit behind with time.
Thank you very much, and thanks a lot for waiting. And I'm very sorry that you had to wait a long time. But as Shipisho mentioned, that we are changing the format, and therefore we went to Microsoft Teams. So there was a bit of a glitch over there. I started all this Toolbox in May. I have done getting started in the DEng program, followed by in June, I did developing the research topic. In July, I did research methodology. And today, I'm going to do a new topic, which is improving research quality and impact. And this is the agenda. I don't want to waste my time on that, but I start with research integrity. This is basically something which is very essential that you understand this, that this is more like your honesty, integrity, your character, and all that comes into research integrity. And you have to be ethically responsible and methodologically rigorous in your scholarly inquiry and knowledge creation. Remember, academic integrity is a very big issue. The reason it has become more difficult, because up till now we were using standard software like Turnitin, which was detecting any similarity level. Now we have got Gen AI type using ChatGPT-4. And you find that it is a very high level of similarity it catches, and it's becoming very difficult for any institution to put a figure saying that this much is the similarity level. Roughly about 20% is allowed in any case. Now, my question is that, is it okay? Do you think it is okay that we can use AI-powered services to support our inquiry and our writing for the writing of the thesis? Do you think that is okay? And I would have normally asked you the question, given you the question, but I don't have the time. But I can tell you the answer right now. It is not okay. It is not acceptable. Absolutely. Oh, Shipriso, there is no voice, Shipriso. Shipriso.
Hi, Dr. Kalam.
There is no voice. Someone is complaining that there is no voice. They can't hear.
Okay, that might be a user-related issue because I can hear you loud and clear. Could you please put any of your queries in the chat box for me? If you are able to hear the professor, you're more than welcome to tell me in the chat box.
Someone has said that no voice.
Yeah, I have seen
but
they
someone
can
has
hear
said we
you.
can hear you very well.
Yes, I think it's a
Yep.
user-related issue, Jean-Pierre.
Okay.
Perhaps
Okay.
the
So
problem might be with your device.
we can't help that. That we can't help. Okay. So we continue. I think we are actually in a very critical stage at the moment with all the Gen AI services. And believe me, it's here to stay. I am telling you right now that it is becoming a very difficult task for academics to realize what is generated AI similarity levels. And unless and until they don't go through the whole system properly, you will find that they will never be able to detect whether you have got this material from ChatGPT 4 or somewhere else. So you have to be very, very careful these days. And to give you one example, I've got Captain Fiction over here. And if you look at it carefully, Captain Fiction is here. And I don't know whether this is generated by AI or done by someone. But if I look very carefully, look at the spelling of fiction. That should tell me that this is not the job of a DEng student. So I know that this work has been plagiarized. So remember, we are talking about high impact research. So there are 3 Qs in there: quality, quality, quality. And 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 also it must be inherent and appearance. Don't forget, the quality of your work will always matter. You would be surprised. I did my doctorate qualification in 1981. I still use that as my reference. So quality is always there. It should be there for all time to come. So you remember that you are helping the world become a better place. And it is essential that you can gain attention from your research work. So your research work is the one which is giving you the impact or getting you recognition. Now, first thing I want to tell you is that avoid unethical approaches. And I found this to be very clearly. I've seen in LinkedIn many times people publicizing their work. There's nothing wrong with saying that I've just published a paper. But asking people to cite their work so that they could be used as a citation, that is unethical. It's just like this bloke over here who has got a banner which says that, struggling scientists, please cite my papers. Because depending on the citation, and I'll show you how citation works. So please avoid such type of mistake that many, especially the early career researchers, do, trying to force people to use their work as citation in their work, which is very, very important to realize. Also, you must remember that citation must come automatically. You will automatically get citation if your work is worth it. There's nothing wrong with people not citing. I mean, I know many Nobel laureates who have not been cited a lot. As a matter of fact, their um, their impact was very low also, but they are Nobel laureates. So it's not important that you have that, but this is one measure is citation, and I'll show it to you in a minute or so. And many people use this as counting, and this is encouraging. I'm not saying this is discouraging, but they use this knowing that, oh, I've been cited 9,000 times. I've been cited 5,000 times. Now, how is the assessment of impact attempts to examine? So the idea is that how many scholars have continued the conversation by citing your article. So they've used your article or your publication and they are extending their work. The other thing is, who is citing your article? Is it a newspaper? Is it a research journal? Is it a conference? It's very important to realize that. What kind of outcomes has your research led to? Has it been groundbreaking like your own research has been? Who is noticing your research? These are some of the assessment of impact, and that is what gives you the citation score. My friend, I can tell you that you must be motivated and be known for what you know. Remember that if you have 100% skill, but your visibility is zero, opportunities will be zero too. You might have the best skills in the world, but no visibility, right? That means opportunities is not there. So be known for what you know. Now give you what I call VUR or WUR, which is World University Ranking. That is WUR 3.0. This measures will sit alongside any existing citation measures. It does the field weighted citation impact, and in the renamed research quality pillar, I'll show you the pillar. And the three things which is there is research strength, research excellence, research influence. In the research strength, it looks at the 55th percentile of the field weighted citation impact. And this is basically a guide to how strong a typical research is. In the research excellence, it looks at the proportion of research in the top 10% worldwide, which is a guide to the amount of world-leading research at an institution. And the third thing is a research influence. So strength, excellence, influence. The influences help us understand when research is recognized by the most influential research in the world. And that tells you that it gives you a broader look of excellence. So this is the type that you see that that pillar is. So all that three things that I told you about, that is the strength, the excellence, and the influence. All that comes in, and that makes it a total of 100%. So that is the research pillar. The WR 2023, it gives you a trends in research and citation. Look at this. Very interesting. Nigeria is the country which is improving at the quickest rate. Not United States, it's not Australia, it is Nigeria. So increasing the average citation score by 30 points since 2019. So they went from 28 to 58. So you can see those countries which you never dreamed of are getting into the Citation Act very quickly. Nigeria is there, Egypt is there, UAE is there, Pakistan is there, Saudi is there, Jordan is there, and so on and so forth. I would have expected China, US, and all over here, but they are coming way down. We normally use Scopus, and there was changes in Scopus in 2022, and Scopus is continuously adding content. You'll be surprised, it has 87 plus million records. It produces 27.1 thousand serials. It has access to 140,000 conferences, and it has 261,000 books. You'd be surprised, Scopus is updated daily, not weekly, not monthly, not yearly, daily. So approximately you get 11,000 new articles every day. To give you an example, in 2021, Scopus added 4 million items. That is an increase of 4.7%. Out of that 4 million items, there was 1,200 journals, 18,000 book titles, 170,000 book items, and 576,000 conference papers. You see, the book item went high. There was an increase of 8%, followed by the book titles. Now, the question is that why should I increase my research visibility and impact. It is like a needle in a haystack. Remember, in Scopus alone, there are 4 million scientific articles. And here you are, you just like a needle in a haystack. And that's where you have to be outstanding. Your work has to be outstanding to be absolutely visible to everyone that you are producing groundbreaking research. Now you might ask, why do we cite? Why do I cite other people's work? Why do other people cite my work? The first thing is that it is relevant to what they are writing. And they know that this exists. So they have to give encouragement to the person who has done the work in the first place. So I have to tell you this is my favorite one. I used to have a slide before, and I used to say publish or perish. Believe me, that has become redundant. It is no longer publish or perish. It's either visible or vanish. It's either visible or vanish. So remember that the research publication was so important in the 70s and the early 80s that we used to say this, publish or perish. Now, it's not only the research publish, but we have to create, we have to promote, we have to measure. So publish was one item. Now we have got 4 items: publish, create, promote, and measure. And it has to be visible or else you vanish. So currently, your work which is there must be publishable. You've created the work, you've promoted the work, and you've measured the work. I have started, and I thought, let me give you a case study. It's not a good example because it's my example. I could not find anyone else's example that I could use, and it's not good to use someone else's example. I said I'll use my own example. So I did something which is called Google search. And I did a Google search on my own name. Look at that. I did it on my own name. And I used that Akhtar Kalam Google search. And all these things came up. And a lot of other things were there. So there were the string of such type of thing. Now, after that, look at that. I looked at Google Scholar. Look at Google Scholar. Can you see that? Google Scholar. I looked at Google Scholar, and Google Scholar gives me a chart. On the right-hand side, you can see the chart. On the left-hand side, it talks about me as a person, where I am working, and what is my area of specialization: power system protection, control and communication, cogeneration or trigeneration, renewable and alternative energy, engineering, education, etc., etc. Now that tells me that I have overall 5,300 citation. My H index is 35 and I-10 index is 105. Now it's a very interesting thing. Look at that. Every year, the citations, look at that, the citation's increasing. Look at that, the citation is increasing, right? And this is 21, 22, 23. See that, that is how the citation has gone. Around 700 citation in those years every year. Now, this is the present one, which is still undergoing. So the more the citation, the more higher that bar will be. The more higher the bar will be. And therefore, now with that, I can understand whether I'm any good or not. If you are an early career researcher, you will find that your H index is about 10 or something like that, between 5 and 10. If you are a researcher which has just started your career with few grants and all, you come to a senior lecturer sort of position or assistant professor position, you'll find your H index is something like 10 to 12, something of that sort. The H index of 36 or 35 is very close to excellent research. Excellent research is at 40. When I get 40, I become an excellent researcher. At the moment, I am above very good, but lower than excellent. Good on you. Whoever has said I'm still on 8, good on you. You are on the way. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. In my time, because I started my career long before all these things started, so my earlier research has not been counted. Therefore, whatever has been counted, you can see that figure right in front of you.
Professor Kalam, just a quick question, please. Which slide are you on?
I'm on slide number 21.
Thank you so much.
Okay, after that, look at that. It tells you, the beauty is that this has all my pictures of this. Even the toolbox, it gives you the doctoral research toolbox. It tells you that's my lab, that's me. That's when once upon a time when I was young. That's my textbook that I wrote on power system protection. So all these things are there. You can look at that and find out who this person Akhtar Kalam is. Now, so by doing that, I have increased my visibility. My citation is now known to everyone, and the impact I have is very important because other people can follow and be motivated with my work. It's not it doesn't give me any promotion, but at least it gives me credibility in the research area. So there are three things. Look at that. There are three things in there. There is the research visibility, so that increases, your citation increases, and your impact increases. Every year that will increase, that H index of 35 will go to 36, then 37, 38, whatever it is, depending on the number of citations which is there. And that H index is very important. Many people do not know much about the I-10 index, but H index everyone knows. Now, how do you increase your visibility and enhancing impact of research? The most important thing is to have your manuscript well prepared, and you have to submit that. And we will be talking about that sometime later on in September, October. Then the post-publication promoting, and after that, you have received the mentions, which is the citation. Now, many people have asked me, should I use Twitter? My friends, you have to decide what you are. First of all, do you live in the 21st century? If you say yes, then go ahead. If you say no, then don't use Twitter. If you have said yes, then you have access to the internet. So I ask you, you say, yes, I do have access to the internet. If you have access to the internet, then do you like to learn and share? You say yes, then you have a growth mindset. You say yes, and then you say you will have to make international connections. You say yes, then you should use Twitter. If at any stage you say no, then don't use Twitter. If you are still in the dark ages, if you are still in the middle ages, don't use Twitter. But if you are now savvy, everyone uses internet, everyone wants to learn and share, everyone has got a growth mindset, everyone wants to make international connection, and Twitter is very good platform. And that increases your viability. Exactly in the same manner, as I mentioned, LinkedIn is a very good platform. You will also find one interesting thing, and I suggest that you do that immediately. And this is called ORCID. This is called ORCID. ORCID, get an ORCID number. That is the number that is associated with me. So any publication that I have, it automatically is recorded in ORCID. So a full bibliography of my work is there. So this, and you will find many journals, especially the reputable one, will ask you for an ORCID number. So that gives you that registry that you are a registered researcher. So my final tips to all this, as I said, I now go a bit backward because I talked about ORCID last. My first thing is that maintain your ORCID. So I would, as soon as I finish today's presentation, hearing my presentation today, immediately log into the system and get into ORCID and maintain your ORCID. Try and register yourself. Maintain an academic profile so people know who you are. Engage with those for whom your work has relevance. Engage with those people, talk to them. As I told you, Twitter, LinkedIn, there are so many platforms, Facebook. Ensure each research output has a unique identifier. You'll find DOI on your published material. Be strategic about where you publish and how you promote or share your work. This is very interesting. There are students, there are young researchers who just publish, and they send at random hundreds of publications, hundreds of uh, journals or conferences, the same paper. Don't do that. Share the one that use one, but have a good one, and you like to publish in that one. Say for if you are electrical engineer, you might want to publish in IEEE transactions, IET work, Elsevier work, EMPDI, MDPI, all those type of journals. Try and look for the quality. Q1 journal, Q2 journal, Q3 journal, Q4 journal, that type. The best journals are the Q1 journals. Make your research output open access where feasible. Nowadays, it's becoming a fashion to have open access journals. And one way is that journal publication has become very expensive. You'd be surprised because I also am a chief editor of one journal, and I can tell you right now that it costs an arm and a leg to publish one page of a journal. It cost about $900 to publish in one of those reputed science journals. So share your research data where feasible. Don't share everything because you don't want others to plagiarize your work, but share your research data. Check the research impact and publishing library guide or contact your EIT librarian. They will have a better opinion about how and where research data can be shared. Now, I'm coming towards the end, and this is what I do every time. I would like to promote EIT. Why EIT? First of all, you are attending this EIT seminar. I have to be honest to EIT and promote a bit of their work too. And my thing is that if you want to boost your career and position yourself to make more meaningful contribution to your field, I think you have to go for a DEng program or a PhD program or a doctorate program. It's not easy. And I mentioned before, if you want to go for money, I don't think there's any money in getting this. But a stage will come. If you remember, you could become an engineer when you were doing high school in the olden days. Then it became bachelor's level became the norm. You will find in the United States more and more application engineers are distinguished if they are PhD holder. As far as EIT is concerned, the institution has got accreditation. It has Texas. Texas is basically tertiary education quality standard. Australia has the Texas seal of approval for giving quality program. Beauty with EIT is that both online and on campus engineering doctoral degree program is there. You will not find this anywhere where you have both the online and on campus. So you can come to any of the campuses, whether in South Africa, whether it is in Perth, whether it's in Melbourne, any of the campuses. At the moment, it is definitely in Perth and Melbourne, but in any other campuses, if there is interest, you can find that in our handbook where the doctoral programs are. And major areas, we don't do it in all the areas of engineering. We concentrate in electrical, mechanical, civil, and industrial. And you can choose from that. And the beauty is that you need to have a work-life balance, and also you would like to have improve your credentials and skills. The online learning is a great way of doing it because you don't have to leave your family to come to Melbourne or come to Perth, although I personally prefer my students to be close to me, but sometimes it's not possible. Your job might allow you to do that. You might find um, that it'd be difficult to move, and you might prefer to do it online. And the beauty with online is that the time of the day is not important. You can do it when you have got time. You can be working from midnight to morning rather than working in the daytime, as long as you can get your doctoral degree, fulfill the criteria. Now, why do you want to use EIT DEng? The program is flexible. I told you we've got online, and and we you will be working with professionals with practical experience in the field. The way it is that the delivery model is unique because there's unique methodology, and that we have learned in the last 10 years. The program is industry oriented, for the industry, by the industry, to the industry. So it's a mutual benefit not only to academia, but to industry also. Therefore, those working in the industry find the DEng program more attractive than a PhD program. Work integrated, it links your education to workplace issues and solve problems that you're passionate about in an innovative and a flexible way. There's a research element because you can do independent investigation into a particular industrial research problem of either your own design or got it from the workplace that you are, and it'll make a significant and original contribution to knowledge in the context of your professional services. Contribution, it prepares you as a candidate for the highest level of professional practice in which you can contribute significantly to the development of the discipline in engineering. Now, I only say good luck. This doctorate program is definitely challenging. I don't want to give you all sorts of fib that the easiest thing in the world. It is not. It is very taxing. But if you want to go for the highest qualification, you have to put the effort. But no doubt about it, you will have this expedition to the frontiers of human knowledge. No matter about the outcome, you will gain and learn a lot about your field and yourself. So it's a wonderful opportunity for whoever wants to do it. And with that, Shipitso, I have completed my presentation for the day. Again, I'm sorry that we started a bit late, and we are about 15 minutes late in ending also. I'm so sorry about that. I hope that next time we don't have that problem. I pass it to you, Shipisho.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, everyone. We really do apologize for the late start as well as the technical issues that we did experience in the beginning of the webinar. So this is the time where you guys are free to ask your questions to the professor. I do believe we have a question from Licky, and he wanted to find out, Professor, He says, and I quote, did you say the sites with the frequently updated research publications and materials were Scopus? I think he wants to know the particular site that you mentioned where they frequently update research publications and materials.
Scopus is a publication journal, right? You can and they have hundreds of journals. You have to look at Scopus-based journal, and say for argument's sake, there could be a journal in energy. There could be there are a lot of journals which are there, which is published. They are basically Scopus is the publisher, just like Taylor and Francis are publisher. MDPI is publisher for energies, exactly in the same manner. So you can, if you do a Google search in Scopus, you will find the whole lot. So that is about it. Uh,
I'm not
now.
I'm not aware if we have another question. However, I will just wait.
I have a comment to make. Give me 1 minute, Shipishro.
Sure,
I
no
forgot to
problem.
mention that um, next month, September, my topic is going to be thesis writing and structure. I repeat, it's a very important topic. How do you write your thesis and what should be the structure of the thesis? Sorry, any questions? Yes, please.
No problem. And that webinar will be held on the first Thursday of September. So that's when we normally have our Doctor of Engineering webinars. So the first Thursday of September, that's when the webinar will be held. And then for interest, the Doctor of Engineering program is going to be available on the 3rd of March for online and then on campus again the 3rd of March 2025. Please note applications are currently open. I would encourage you guys to apply if you are interested in doing so and apply well in time so that you're able to complete the requirements that are needed in order for your applications to be successful. As mentioned, the program is available online and on campus, and depending on your needs and your preference, you're more than welcome to enroll for either program. And then, as the doctor mentioned, we have the thesis writing and structure taking place on the 5th of August, not August, September, pardon me. That is the first Thursday of September. And then we'll have other ones. We have about four more left for the year until we complete this Doctor of Engineering toolbox that we have going on. And then I will reiterate what I mentioned previously. You will receive a copy of the slides that the doctor used, as well as the recording of this particular webinar. It will be sent to your mailboxes, and then you guys are more than welcome to watch it. And then if you have any further questions, I have been sure to put my email in the chat box. I will also pin it up top, and then you guys can send us emails if you have questions regarding the program or the webinar that we held today. You're free to
Shipisho,
ask your
there was
questions.
Shipisho. Can I interrupt 1 minute?
Of
There
course.
was I forgot to see that the some of the comments that has come from the attendees. One of the comment has come that I was out of sync of the slide. I don't know what happened, but apparently I was in slide 21, but the people were seeing slide 8.
So
That's the impression
I
and I
actually
think you
didn't
have
tell
corrected
you.
that. I just wanted to
Yes.
say that I'm sorry that that has happened. Believe me, it's not my doing, but I don't like to read completely from the slide in any case. So you will find that I go a bit tangential, but not that badly from slide 8, and I'm not talking about slide 21. So believe me, that's not my fault.
Yes, I took note of that, Prof, and then I
Mm.
was able to actually
Yeah.
move it for you. So not a problem in any case. We did sort that out. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section or the chat box so that we are able to conclude the webinar, please. Okay, so whilst you guys are asking the questions, you are more than welcome to scan the QR code or use the link in order to complete the survey. This is where you guys can leave us your opinions of how the webinar was run. If you have any questions that you would like to ask us or suggestions on topic that you would like to hear or see from us next time, we are more than happy to take your suggestions into consideration, and you can just scan the QR code up on the screen or you can use the link in order to complete that survey. Okay, that's about it from my end. I'm just waiting for any questions. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm just going to quickly go through the thank you for attending slide. This is our website. It's www.eit.edu.au. We have offices in Perth, Melbourne, and we currently have a new campus in Brisbane. The contact details are also available on the EIT website for anyone who would like to inquire for our courses. A course advisor, such as myself, will be happy to assist you. So I'm just going to leave the survey link as well as scan QR code on the screen for you guys to actually just complete the survey, and then you can get back to us with any questions you might have in the opinions of the session we held today. Okay. I don't see any questions as of yet. However, I'll just wait for 2 minutes and then we can conclude the webinar.
Thank you very much, everyone, and hope to catch up with you in my next seminar in September, the first Thursday of September. And please, if there are other who are interested in thesis writing, etc., they are all welcome.
Thank you so much for presenting, Professor
And
Kalam.
bye-bye from me. Bye-bye from me, Shipurso, and all of you. Bye.
As always, goodbye. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. Have a lovely day going further. I have left my email in the chat box, so you're more than welcome to send an email if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time. I will be closing the webinar currently. Thank you.